For anybody that's new, my name is Stephanie. It's so great to have you here today. We are going to start in a nice, cozy seated posture. So find where that feels good for you. I'm going to be sitting with my legs crossed. You can extend them. You can sit on a bolster or a block, just whatever feels good for you. And we'll gently place the hands somewhere on the lap. So palms face down for more grounding practice, or palms face up for receiving. So again, just find what feels natural. And gently draw your eyes closed. So take a couple moments to establish your posture. And as you begin to bring your awareness here and now, just allow yourself to listen to my voice. So today we are going to center our practice around the heart chakra, or the heart center. So that's like the center of the chest. The heart chakra is one that elicits love, accordingly with the heart. But it's an emerald green light that not only emanates from the front of the chest, but also the back, kind of right between the shoulder blades. So the heart chakra represents our ability to not only give love, but to also receive it. So today we're going to be focusing around this area for the next 30 minutes. So take a couple of moments while your eyes are gently closed. Maybe you visualize a beautiful emerald green light emanating out from the chest and then also out from the upper back behind you. Maybe you just take a couple of moments to feel every inhale and exhale within that region of the body. So the inhales draw in towards the chest as it expands outwards. And exhales, the chest softens as you breathe out. So play around with it, notice what feels good for you, whether you visualize the light, or just feel every inhale and exhale. And as we pause here for a couple of moments, let everything that you've done today just dissolve to the background. Do a similar thing with anything that's left to do today or for the rest of the week. Let everything dissolve to the background of your mind as you steady your awareness on the feeling, the sensation of the breath in the chest. Take a couple more big breaths, maybe contemplating the question, how can I give or receive love more freely? So I know personally my struggle has been letting my guards down and allowing myself to receive love, though I find it easy to give. So just contemplate for a couple of moments before we begin to flow. Once you feel grounded and centered in your breath, in the heart space, gently draw the eyes open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. So the eyes are open, we have vision in the picture, but we want to keep our gaze internal. Feel the chest rise and fall with every inhale and exhale, and let that be the center of your focus right now. Couple big breaths here. And then we're going to take a moment to gently make our way to hands and knees tabletop position. So turn yourself over, make your way all the way to hands and knees tabletop position, and then we'll meet up there. So take a look down, make sure the knees are hips distance, wrists are directly under the shoulder points, and we're going to begin to wake up the back body with a couple of cat-cows. So on your next inhale, can you drop the belly down, look up towards the ceiling? On the exhale, round the spine, looking towards the knees, the thighs, or the belly button. Inhale, belly drops down, shoulders pull down the back body. Exhale, round, try to lift up between the space and the shoulder blades. So working through that heart center, inhale, belly pulls down, expand the chest forward. Exhale and round. We'll do one more round together. Really follow your breath. Inhale, belly drops down, heart pulls through. Exhale, round, looking towards the knees, thighs, or belly button. Inhale back to tabletop and pause here. So take a big breath or two. If you need to wiggle out the wrist, feel free to do so. On your next inhale, can you lift the right hand up towards the sky and reach tall, like you're shining your heart towards the side. On the exhale, hand sweeps down, and then we're gonna grab the outside of the left shoulder, so you're giving yourself a little hug. Maybe from here you begin to continue to pivot toward the left-hand side. So you should feel a stretch along the upper back and the shoulder blade on that right-hand side. So let's try that a couple more times, moving with the breath. Inhale, big sweep up, reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, down and across, give yourself a hug. Maybe you continue to pivot just a bit more. Let's do one more on this side. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, down and across. Give yourself that hug. Maybe you pivot a little bit. Inhale, let's press the hand back down. Exhale once it's there. If you need to shake out that left wrist, feel free to do so. Same thing other side. So on your next inhale, left hand sweeps up super tall. Exhale, sweep it down, and this time grab the outside of your right shoulder. Maybe you pivot a bit. Inhale, sweep it on back up. Exhale, down. Grab a hold of the shoulder, twist. Inhale, open up. One more time. You're doing a great job. Exhale, down. Give yourself that gentle hug. Inhale, open on up. Beautiful job. Exhale, set the hand down. And your choice, toes can be curled under behind you or flat. Find what feels good. But we're going to bring our hips back to the heels and sit back on the heels. So if this feels like too much for you, you can straighten the legs out and find a seat that works for you. Just find what feels comfortable on the knees and on the backs of the feet. Moving to a seated version of cat-cow, Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Then interlace your hands at the top, so I'm clasping my hands. Exhale, hands come behind the head. On your next inhale, lift the heart up, expand the chest. Exhale, begin to look towards the belly button as you round, elbows come towards touching. Follow your own breath, so inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Again, you can move at your own pace. Inhale, open, expanding the heart center, the heart chakra. Exhale, round. Let's do one more round. So inhale, open up. And exhale, round, breathe out. Inhale to open. Exhale, hands come down to the thighs. Take a breath or two here. Just check out how the chest is feeling, how the upper back's feeling after those couple of stretches we just did. Breathe through the heart center. And then on your next inhale, we're going to swing the legs out in front of us and find a nice comfortable seat. So that can be anything for you. I'm going to cross my legs again and face you so you can see me. We're going to move to eagle arms next. So on your next inhale, hands reach out in front of you. Your choice. Option A, you can stack the right elbow over the left and give yourself a nice big hug. So that's option A. If that checks out good for you, you can move to option B, which is eagle arms. So instead, right arm over the left, and then you're going to hinge at the elbows and press the outsides of the hands together. If that's okay, then maybe you bring the insides of the palms to touch. So this is a deep stretch along, I'll turn to the side so you can see me. This is a deep stretch along the shoulder blades. So play around, find what works for you, whether it's hugging or full eagle arms. Wherever you are, lift the elbows up away from the ground and press the hands away from your face. So we'll pause here for a couple big breaths. If you want to add any sort of movement, maybe a gentle rock side to side, just notice how that feels along the upper back body. And breathe, breathe, breathe. So soften your jaw, relax the shoulders, take some big breaths to the back of the heart space. One more big breath here. Awesome job. On your exhale, release it down, and we're going to clasp our hands behind us. So interlace the fingers On your next inhale, pull the hands away from your back body and then lift the hands up away from the ground. So almost imagine like someone's standing behind you, pulling your hands away from you. Low belly gently pulls in, and this time we're opening the heart center. So maybe you imagine that beautiful emerald green light emanating out from the center of the chest. That's your heart chakra. Breathe into that space, so every inhale makes that light grow a little bit more. Every exhale releases any tension. One more big breath here. Beautiful, beautiful. Exhale, release your hands down. If you need to give your shoulders a shake, feel free to do so. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So this time, left arm's on top, whether you're giving yourself that nice hug, reaching across the shoulders, or moving to eagle arms. You'll hinge at the elbows, maybe press the outsides of the hands together, maybe press the insides of the hands together. So find where this works for you. Take a moment. And then, once you get to that posture, lift the elbows up, press the hands away from the face, and breathe deeply to the back body. Again, relax your jaw. Maybe you give it a little wiggle. If you want to add a little movement here, maybe you gently rotate from side to side. Find where this works in your body. Relax those shoulders down away from the ears. Take some big breaths. Stay with the mind and the body. One more full breath here. You're doing an awesome job. On your next exhale, unwind the arms, and we're clasping one more time, but this time when we clasp, opposite pinky is going to be on the bottom, so it's going to feel like a little bit of an awkward clasp. Again, inhale, hands reach out and up, shrug the shoulders onto the back body, and reach those hands back behind you. Low belly gently sucks in, and try to make sure we're not coming into a back bend, lifting the heart center. Keep the rib cage pulling down. 2 more big breaths here. Breathe to the center of the chest. You got it. 1 more full round of breath. Beautiful job. Exhale, release. Give yourself a little shake of the arms, and we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So swing those legs back on behind you. Hands and knees, tabletop position. Once you get there, curl the toes under, lift the knees up, and then press your weight on back to downward facing dog. Pause here for a couple big breaths. Maybe you like to bend the knees, pedal it out, shift the weight forward and back side to side. Just check in. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice how the shoulders are feeling. Really try to expand the space between the shoulder blades on the back body. The way you do that is rotating the inner upper arms out and away from the face, from the head. Let's say 2 more big breaths. 1 more breath. And then from here, on your next inhale, begin to walk your hands back to your feet. So begin to step them back. If you need to bend the knees to get to the back of your mat, feel free to do so. And once you get to the back of your mat, inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, and then exhale. We're going to hang heavy for a couple big breaths. So find a forward fold that feels good for you. It might just mean keeping a soft bend in the knees and the arms draping down. Maybe you significantly bend the knees to give yourself more space in the low back. Hands can be dangling in the air. You can wrap them around opposite elbows. You can sway side to side. So just find what feels good for you here. Breathe deeply. So you're going to feel the blood rush to the head, and that's okay. Relax the back of the neck. Crown of the head pulls towards the ground beneath you. Let your body just soak in the goodness of this inversion as the spine decompresses a bit. Come back to your breath. How can you cultivate more love for yourself? So we're focusing on the heart chakra. In this very moment, how can you show yourself self-compassion? How can you just be with your body? Feel every inhale and exhale arrive and exit. 2 more big breaths. 1 more full round of breath. Beautiful, beautiful. If your arms are bound, release them down. And on your next inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Pause here, and on your exhale, can you bend the knees so much so that your torso is eventually resting or pressing against your thighs completely. So you can see that I've got contact between my belly and my thighs. So pause there, and then once you have that contact, bring your hands behind you, clasp them just like we did in that seated posture. Allow the head to drape down, and maybe you lift the hands up off the low back towards the ceiling. Maybe they reach towards the front of the room. So explore where this works for you. We're opening up the shoulders a bit in this forward fold. You can begin to straighten the legs, but only straighten the legs to the point that you can keep contact with your belly and the thighs. Couple more big breaths here. Breathe through the shoulders, relax the jaw. 2 more big breaths. 1 more breath. On your exhale, release the hands down back towards the ground. Inhale again, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold down. On your next inhale, walk the hands out to plank position. So walk all the way until your shoulders are directly over your wrists. Your choice, either knees stay lifted or you drop them down, but on your exhale, slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, pull the heart up, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, press up and back. Take a big breath once you get to downward facing dog, and on your next inhale, lift your right foot up off the ground, toes point towards the ceiling. Exhale, step your foot up between your hands, drop your back knee down, and then walk your left hand off the mat toward the left hand side. Inhale, right hand reaches up tall, maybe slightly back a bit. So imagine that you're just shining your heart toward that right hand side. Pause here, we'll be here for about 5 big breaths. Keep those legs working so that front heel presses down into the mat. Back knee presses down and draws forward. 2 more big breaths. Breathe to the heart center, 1 more full breath. Exhale, top hand comes down, and then bring that left hand back in. Step that front foot back, set the knee down. Your choice if the knees stay down or you lift them up, but lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, low cobra, peel the heart up. Exhale, down dog, curl the toes under, press up and back. Take a big breath here. Same flow on the other side. So on your next inhale, left foot sweeps up. Exhale, step it through. Right hand comes off the mat as you set that back knee down. And on your next inhale, left hand reaches up towards the sky. Again, pause here for a couple big breaths. Press the front heel down into the mat. As you press the back knee down and slightly draw them closer to each other, that'll ignite the legs. 2 more big breaths. 1 more full round of breath. Exhale, hand comes down. Bring that right hand in, and then left knee comes back behind you. Lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, low cobra, peel the heart up. Exhale, child's pose. So big toes touch, knees spread wide. Sink the hips back to the heels. We'll pause here for a couple big breaths. Again, just let yourself come back to center. Find your way back to the feeling of the inhales and exhales. Maybe you check in for a moment. Just notice where your mind is, where it's been throughout the flow. Can you navigate back to every inhale and exhale? Maybe you feel the inhales puff up and expand the back body. Maybe you feel the exhales relax your body down towards the ground a little bit more. Let everything else go. How can I receive and give love more freely? Breathe into the heart center. 2 more big breaths here. 1 more breath. If you want to take 1 step further in child's pose, an option for a little bit of a shoulder opener here. If your head is not on the ground, maybe you put a pillow, a blanket, a block underneath it so the forehead sets down. But if you want to move forward, palms will touch. So prayer hands as the head's on the ground.
And then you're going to lift the prayer hands up off the mat. Maybe they come towards the back of your head. Maybe they're just somewhere in the air. So when you bring the palms closer towards the back of your head, you'll feel an opening along the shoulder blades, along the midline. So play around with it, see if this works into your body. It's okay if it doesn't. But we'll pause for a couple more breaths with this added shoulder opener. Breathe deeply. Center your mind on what you feel in the body. Come back to the breath. One more big breath here. Awesome job. If your hands are on prayer, gently bring them back down. Take a big breath. Perfect. On your next inhale, come back up, tabletop position, hands and knees. We're just going to lower ourselves down to our bellies. So everybody down to the mat. From here, I'm just going to scooch myself back a bit. So you're going to take your hands directly under your shoulders, but then you're going to step them out wider than the mat. So just like we did in that low lunge. So you're going to tense your fingertips so the palms are lifted, elbows are lifted. So we're going to move into kind of like a Cobra shoulder opener flow. On your next inhale, peel your heart up off the mat, so only to where it feels good, and press all 10 toes and the pelvis down into the ground. On the exhale, draw the right shoulder down to the mat. All right, inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, left shoulder dips down. So you should feel something going on in the shoulders here as you do this. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, dip down the right shoulder. You're doing great. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, left shoulder dips towards the center. One more each side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right shoulder goes towards the midline. Inhale, up. Last time, left shoulder drops down. Inhale, back to center, and let's rest. So exhale, lower yourself down. Maybe you stack a palm on top of another. Rest the forehead down or the side of the head down on the ground. Pause for a couple moments. Just notice how that felt for you. Maybe you draw the eyes closed. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel the belly expand and press out towards the ground on the inhales. On the exhales, feel your body just relax and melt down. One more big breath here. We're going to do one more back bend, low cobra variation. So when you're ready, lift your hands up, your head off of your hands, and then from here, we're going to clasp our hands behind us one more time, just like we did in our forward fold. So hands are on the sacrum, fingers interlaced, and then from here, keeping your feet and your legs velcroed down to the ground. On your inhale, can you lift the hands up off your low back and maybe peel the heart up off the ground a bit using the strength of your low back. Shoulders shrug onto the back body as the hands reach towards the back of the room. Really press the tops of your feet down into the mat beneath you. Couple more big breaths. You got it. Let's take 2 more big breaths. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher. One more big breath. Awesome job. On your exhale, slowly lower yourself back down. Rest a cheek down to the mat or the forehead, whatever feels best for you. Hands come by the sides. Couple big breaths here. Again, just noticing the effects on the body. Maybe you don't notice anything. Maybe you notice something. But stay present, observe, and be with your body. Breathing deeply and consciously. Inhales bring in love to the heart center, to the body. They nourish us. And the exhales we give out into the world all our love. One more big breath. Then inhale, hands come under the shoulders. Peel yourself on up. Let's make our way to child's pose. This time, option to bring the knees close together to touch rather than being out wide. So when we bring the knees closer together, it expands the low back a bit. So maybe you give that a try if that feels okay in your body. Drape the head down. Hands can reach out ahead of you, or maybe they come by your sides with the palms face up. Again, find what works in your body. All bodies are different. See what works for you and feels good for you. Navigate to the place where you can center the mind on feeling the breath rather than being disturbed by some part of the body. So we're here to stay present, to stay with the breath, to notice what we feel, and to meet our bodies, our minds, our hearts where we're at today. 2 more big breaths. Breathe to the heart center, not only in the center of the chest, but the back of the heart, between the shoulder blades. Beautiful job. On your next inhale, if your hands are by your sides, bring them back up front, but then walk your hands back up towards you till you're all the way up and seated, and then we're going to swing our legs out in front of us. So swing your legs out. If you need to kind of give your knees a little wiggle, feel free to do so. Maybe you bob them up and down. We're going to come into a variation of a forward fold here, still working that heart center. So that is totally our theme today. So press the knees down, pull the toes back towards you. Legs are active and engaged as they press down towards the mat. From here, you're going to give yourself a nice big hug. So right arm over the left, just like we did at the beginning of our class, and grab a hold of your shoulders. Same concept, lift the elbows up away from the ground. Low belly pulls in, and then can you begin to hinge from your hips, maybe drawing your torso forward a bit. Elbows stay up and lifted. So pause here for a couple big breaths. The low belly's drawing in towards the spine. The knees are pressing down towards the mat. Maybe you add that slight little pivot side to side, but explore where this works in your body. You may not reach forward much. It might just be a 1/2 of an inch or so, and that's okay. 1 more big breath. On your next inhale, come back up to neutral. Let the arms down, give them a little shake. We're just going to do the opposite side for balance in the body. So inhale, hands reach up. Give yourself a big hug. Left arm on top now. Elbows lift up away from the ground. Low belly pulls in, and on an exhale, maybe you begin to draw forward. Again, we're not trying to find rounding in the back body. We're trying to keep our back as straight as possible as we just reach those elbows forward. Keep lifting the elbows up, press those knees down, toes pull back towards you. Legs are very much working here. 2 more big breaths. You got it. You're doing an awesome, awesome job. 1 more big breath. Beautiful. On your next inhale, bring it on back up. Let those arms come down. Give yourself a little shake if you need to. We're laying down next. So inch yourself forward if you need space. Once you're ready, arms reach out in front of you. On an exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Pause here. Maybe you extend the legs out, arms come out by the sides. If there's any last stretches you want to take, maybe you hug the knees in towards you. Maybe you rock side to side, give yourself a little happy baby, Baddha Konasana, a twist. Take the next couple of moments for yourself. Give yourself anything else that your body might need, because we're meeting up in Shavasana next. So find what feels good, take a couple moments, listen to that intuitive space within, and move to wherever it feels good. It doesn't have to be a quote-unquote real yoga posture. Just give your body that organic movement it needs before we rest. And again, whenever you are ready to meet up for Shavasana, the legs will be extended if that's how you choose to rest, and the arms eventually come out resting down by your side. So again, if you need a little bit more time, feel free to take it. We'll eventually meet up just resting down on our back body. And once you do make your way to Shavasana, gently draw your eyes closed if you haven't already. And when you find your next inhale, take a moment to puff your chest up off the mat, and then inch the shoulders down the back body. Exhale, set the top of the body back down. So we created a little bit of space around the ears. Maybe you inch the legs a little bit further down the mat as well. And begin to invite in a soft, easy, a loving and relaxed state to your mind, to your body, to the space all around and within you.
Begin to soften your body even further, starting by relaxing the crown of your head. Relax your forehead, soften the eyebrows, relax the eyes. Allow the temples to soften as you relax the cheekbones and the jaw. Soften your lips. Relax your teeth and gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your ears and the back of the head. Relax the scalp. Relax the neck, the back, the front, and the sides. Allow the throat to open. Melt the shoulder blades down towards the ground beneath you. And send a wave of relaxation down the arms and out the fingertips, relaxing every bone, muscle as it passes. Soften your chest, the belly, and allow the back body to totally relax towards the ground beneath you. Soften your hips and the pelvic area, relax the glutes. Soften the upper legs and the knees. Relax your lower legs and the ankles. Relax your feet, allowing them to naturally splay outwards as every toe gets a little bit lighter. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body, and just let go. Continue to keep letting go, letting go, letting go. And allow this inner state of relaxation and ease to translate to your mind. Softening the mind, relaxing it, letting it melt away as though it's a muscle itself. For the next couple of moments, just allow yourself to be in this state. Let yourself drift off into the peaceful, loving energy that you've cultivated throughout practice today. And if you'd like to make your way out of Shavasana, gently begin to invite the awareness back in towards your body. Maybe you deepen the breath or add small wiggles to the toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. And only when you feel ready to move, gently roll over to either side and pause to rest in a fetal position. Take your time. Again, only when you feel ready, gently begin to press yourself up towards seated, keeping the eyes softly closed as you transition. eventually meet up with the eyes softly closed, palms touching at heart center in a comfortable seat. Take a couple of moments to consciously observe your internal landscape. Bring your awareness to your mind, your headspace, and notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your mind right now? Gently drop your awareness to the heart center, the heart chakra, that emerald green light that emanates from the front and the back of the heart. Take a couple moments, maybe you notice the subtle heartbeat. Just observe how that space feels in your body. What word describes the energy of your heart space? And gently bring your awareness to your body as a whole, just noticing how it feels. And again, maybe coming up with a word to describe the feeling of your body. And then bring your awareness to your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right in this moment? Just let it be, observe, notice. Let go of any sorts of judgment. Gently give yourself a smile and really thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating the time to cracking open that heart center just a little bit further, and also dedicating the time to your health, your life, and your practice today. And thank you very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me and everybody else that showed up to practice today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.